Hey guys, today I'm going to do an unboxing and a little review on Etchr's mystery boxes, the Painter's Delight mystery box and the Smooth Operator box. And I cannot wait to get into these. I got these yesterday, and being the extremely mature adult that I am, I wanted to open them immediately. I wanted to open them so badly. Alright, so I waited until the next day so we can open them together and see what we get out of them. Okay, now that I've wrestled with the bubble wrap, we're going to start with the Smooth Operator, which is the drawing box. So basically Etchr, if you don't know anything about Etchr, they're a company that does art supplies, and they mostly do drawing supplies and painting for watercolor and gouache. So you're not going to see any oil stuff, no acrylic stuff, nothing like that. Oh my god, this plastic's going to be so loud. Okay, yep, totally is. I bought this with my own money. I almost never buy mystery boxes. I'm going to be very honest. This got me. I only have one watercolor sketchbook from Etchr. I haven't even used it yet. It's still in its box. It's terrible. But I don't normally buy this kind of thing, but they kept showing it to me, and I had recently ordered the small sketchbook packet that they did because I generally do watercolors, and I very much love like the really tiny, well, you can't even see my hands because I'm putting them in the wrong place. Oh, wonderful. Like really tiny sketchbooks. And they had an option where they had, like, I don't know, five of them, I think, for like $100, which seems horrible. But generally speaking, if you're buying those with 100% cotton watercolor paper anyway, that's about the going rate. So I figured, hey, this is a great opportunity to get a bunch of them all at once. I don't have to pay shipping for each individual one. And I just have them available for whatever size that I decide I want to use. So that's why I bought that. And then, of course, Facebook gave me 1,385 ads for this, along with all of their limited edition other sketchbooks, which I am not buying because I haven't even used the first one yet. So this is fine. I don't need the special colors. And they kept showing me these ads, and I finally... It was very tempting. It's always tempting, but I almost never buy mystery boxes because the probability of getting something you don't want is super high with most mystery boxes. But I went ahead and looked at everything that they had on their website, and there was very few things that I would be upset with getting. The only things that I'm not really interested in or don't think I would very much use would actually be their little carry cases, because I already have my own carry cases. So having another carry case might not be the best option. It would just be extra stuff, and definitely the accessories for them. Like, I do not want accessories for their carrying cases. I doubt they'll give me that, but we'll see. The boxes are surprisingly heavy, and I didn't expect the drawing box to be quite as heavy as it is. It's heavier than the painting box, but okay, let's see what's in it. Okay, the box is really stuck on there. Good quality boxes too. And oh, okay. Oh wow, that's a lot of sketchbooks. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have sketchbooks until my eyes bleed. Okay. Ooh, hey, brushes. If this is actually brushes, I would be very happy to have some brushes. I don't really use gouache. I've tried gouache. I'm not wild about gouache. I mostly work in acrylics and watercolor and ink. But gouache, these brushes should be able to be used with watercolor and acrylic just fine, honestly, because acrylic, you can use anything with acrylic, I swear. But I will absolutely take another set of brushes. You can never have too many brushes. And I do kind of like the carry. This is not the carrying case I use. This is the carrying case I use for my brushes currently. It does that. It stands. I love this thing. I can use it in my plein air kit. I can use it at my desk. Oh, hey, these popped out. Of course they did. Just made me crazy. So this is generally how I do my brushes. And then I have, of course, the ubiquitous, what every artist has, the Jaro brushes. And other odds and ends. So those are the two things that I basically have for my brushes at the current time. I also really like this hard one just because it's a good protection, so I can put this in a bag and it won't really bend or anything like that, which is really kind of nice. And it has everything organized because I'm anal and lots of room. So that's what I currently use. I have not gotten any of these rolls, but at this point I have so many sets of things that I can always use another set of pens. I can use another set of brushes without too much trouble. So I am not hating that. Not hating that at all. And okay, a bunch of fluffy stuff. So, oh wow. Hot press. Now, I'm not a huge fan of hot press, but I do use it on occasion. So this is not horrible. Yeah, I'll take more paper. I can definitely take more paper. I have so much paper. Ooh, landscape. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So these are all 100% cotton, which I love. That is another thing. Etchr mostly does cotton. And if you do watercolors, cotton is the shiz. So, oh, these are all hot pressed. Okay, this is going to be interesting because I don't normally use a lot of hot press. This is why it was so heavy. Look at how much paper. Okay, wood pulp. I do not like using wood pulp with watercolors. I kind of hate it, actually. Not a fan. But I do really like using this for my acrylics. For acrylics, watercolor paper, like just wood pulp watercolor paper, is really, really good. It's one of my it's like my main thing that I use for practicing. I use that and multimedia paper because I cannot stand canvas paper. I hate the stuff with a passion. I don't even like working on canvases, honestly, but then I work tiny, so that's not really surprising. And a hot press. Okay, now I have not tried acrylics on hot press paper before, so that's going to be interesting. So this is almost entirely paper. At the end, I will figure out how much all of this costs and break this down with how much these boxes cost in the first place. 30-day free access to online art classes. Well, I might actually take them up on that. So this is what was in the drawing class. I'm a little disappointed that all I got was paper. I was kind of hoping, and I don't know why the paintbrushes would be in the drawing one. I'm pretty sure I got this right. I'm pretty sure I got this right. Did I get the wrong one? See, these are the questions I ask myself. Nope, smooth operator. That's what it says. Okay, and that would be the drawing one. Weird that I got paintbrushes in the drawing one, but being a painter, not really caring overly. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get any type of fine liners or markers, which, yes, they're a little pricey, but it would have been nice to have something like that instead of just an absolute crap ton of paper. But I'm not going to complain because these sketchbooks tend to be pretty pricey. I mean, really pricey. They're usually at least $30, maybe $25 if you're lucky. So yeah, I'll have to price these out and see what that comes out to. And let's move on to the painting box. It was so fun to wrestle with the really loud plastic last time. Let's do it again. So I have high hopes for this one. It definitely weighs less than the other one, so I probably won't have as many sketchbooks, but that's okay. I collect a couple of things. Art supplies, of course, being a big one. Fountain pens and sketchbooks. I have so many sketchbooks that I have not used a single page of, but I'll see them and love them and be like, ooh, I will need this someday. And then have like 10 sketchbooks I haven't even opened and started yet. And I usually don't grab a sketchbook and then go beginning to end. I'll just like have sketchbooks for certain things, and I will put, like, I'll use a page here and then go get a different sketchbook and use a page there, and it's chaos. It's chaos. Oh my goodness. Oh, watercolor brushes too? Okay, again. No way. Okay. Too excited. Calm down. Okay, I am not displeased. I am very happy. I am chuffed to bits right now with this. Okay. That gives me 2 solid sets of new paintbrushes. Oh. Now, I'm pretty good. I try to be really good to my paintbrushes. I really do. I try not to use them up or be mean to them. I wash them regularly with like proper soap and everything. But you can always use more brushes, honestly. Oh, okay. This is, yeah, pretty pleased with that. I'm just going to fling that over there. Oh, okay. I'm like so excited about this right now. Like, you don't even know. Oh, this is so cute. I have seen these a ton of times. And they're always really cute. But the prices, the prices just are too much right now. If I can figure out, like an adult, how to open something, that'd be awesome sauce. Does it screw? This is embarrassing. Guys. Oh, you just pop it off. I'm such an idiot. Wow, that is a lot of little tiny little nubbins. I don't know that I would ever use that. Like, that's too many. This is a good size. Now, they advertise this as a travel set, And I guess if I were going to go somewhere for a long time, it might be handy. But really, this is kind of heavy for a travel set. And I already have a small, I'm sorry, I don't have one. I'm not going to lie. I have way too many travel sets. But I really like the ceramic. I like that a lot for sitting at a desk and using it. Or at an easel or whatever. Like this is the way to go for that. In fact, where's my other one? This is what I generally use on my desk anyway, which is, as you can see, slightly used, but I will reuse these colors anyway at some point because I hate wasting paint. So that's what I normally use, so having something a little bit smaller would be nice. I mean, this might be really nice for if you're traveling for more, like, not just going out for a quick plein air, but actually traveling somewhere for like a week or a weekend or something, and you want to take a travel set that you can use at a table or on a desk. This is really very handy because it can be a little tricky. Let me get out my actual travel palette. So this is the palette, the little bag that I've put together. It's taken me, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years to come up with this particular packet. This is my current travel palette. This is what I take with me to like museums or out and about. I, again, have way too many. But this is the one that I'm using currently. As you can see, I have not cleaned it since the last time I was at the museum. So I clearly need to do that. This is a little magnetic one from, oh, what is that place called? Art Toolkit. There it is. This is the pocket palette from Art Toolkit. You probably can't see that in this camera because I don't know how to focus things properly. This is really great. I really love this. It's got good size. It's got a lot of options, and these are just other pans that I bought. This is actually like their official like water mixing pan that came with a kit or something, and then I got these separately and I just left them empty so that I can have several different pots to mix in while I'm on the go. So I can have like a blue for my sky, and then I can do like a green for whatever, and then I can do like a red over here, and then I can kind of mix them into each other when I need to calm them down or dilute them or whatever. This is also supposed to be a mixing area, and you can see from this dust coloration over here. I hope you can see that. I can't tell with this camera, I swear. It's a new camera. I'm figuring it out. This stuff is, I mean, it's good. It will come off. There are ways to get this off, but I don't really use this very much because it's flat like this, so it can just dribble out the sides. I much prefer these. So something like this would actually be really cool to use in conjunction with this because that would give me a lot more spots to do my mixing, which is really cool. So, I mean, weight-wise, it's quite a bit heavier than this. This is actually quite light, and I like the magnetic. Oh, that's popping out. Interesting. I like the magnetic aspect of this that keeps my little guys in place. I really love that. But this is really cool. I have been eyeballing this because clearly, no, you can never have too many palettes. Like I said, it's embarrassing how many of these stupid little palettes. Seriously, it's embarrassing. I might have to do a video on that someday. But I am chuffed to bits about this. This is good. I like it very much. I'm just going to fling that over here and clean it off camera. Okay. I did get a pin. All right. So I was a little concerned that they would give me like a pin in each box, but I'm very happy that they didn't do that. I do like pins. I'm into that on some of my bags, so that's pretty cool. And now we're going to get to more notebooks. But oh, look at that. Cold pressed. So this is basically what I have currently, I think, is one of these. It's still in its box. So now I have a second one. These are really nice. I've seen lots and lots of reviews on them. The paper's supposed to be really good, so I'm very pleased with that. I can always use another one. And of course we have yet more pads of paper, which I have a lot of pads of paper, but I'm not going to argue. And it's the exact same set as in the other box. So, wow, 16 sheets. That's it, guys. Okay, well, I'm not going to get too upset about that. Again, these are... I do also tend to use the... Oh, what do you call it? The wood pulp. I have a big pad of this stuff from St. Louis Art Supply. And I usually cut it up into small pieces like this. This is, I think, 25% watercolor paper. And I use this as scrap paper. I always have a sheet. I have one of the big sheets. Where's the big sheet? I always have one of these on my desk when working on almost anything. I test out my fountain pens on it. I test out my ink. I test out ideas about things like, oh, will this work on this? Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for. Oh, is this pen waterproof? And I can test it out. So I always have a scrap sheet with me at all times so I can check colors, I can check color combinations, I can try stuff, like I was trying shadowing with my water pizzas. So I always keep some of this on hand, so having more of that is also never a bad idea, because you can never have too much of this, because it's a lot cheaper than watercolor. You don't want to use watercolor for scrap. So for acrylic, these are great. I'm not going to complain. So that is what I got. Yeah, there's a lot less in this one, but again, I will put together a pricing list on how much all this stuff was so that we can get a better idea of if this was a value. Okay, so clearly I need to work on my lighting because this is a pile of crap. This light is great, but I think it has more to do with how the camera is focusing on things, because that seems excessive. Okay, yeah, see, now it's doing that. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. All right. So, thanks for watching. I do have more videos that will be coming out at some point as I begin my YouTube journey. But this was a very nice, easy thing to do, and I saved this box just to open for you guys. So, anybody want a bunch of black, tassely, fluffy stuff? Okay, I'm a little farther away from the speaker, so, well, microphones, we'll see. All right, math was mathed. So, full transparency, these boxes were each $119 a piece. You get a little bit of a break if you bought both, so I bought both, which cost me $215. Yes, that's a lot of money. That's all right, so let's break it down. One of these puppies, these little brush rolls, each one, they cost $55.90. And I got one in each box, which is pretty cool. This little guy, which is the palette, ceramic palette, is basically $50 straight up. It's $49.99. Oh, that actually went over here. This pin, the pin, which is like branding and marketing for them, $12. So I'm an idiot. I did not read these because reading is fundamental. These are actually watercolor blocks, which means they're actually a little bit better than pads. I like blocks quite a bit better. I might try using them just to see how their watercolor paper, their pulp paper holds up, but I'm probably just going to use these. They're blocks, which helps because they're attached on all the sides, so there's a little less warping, but still you're going to get a lot of warping with wood pulp. That's just the nature of wood pulp, unfortunately. So I will definitely try these. These each, didn't matter hot or cold, just the A4 sizes, are $21.80 a piece. And now we get to these guys. So I went through all of these. This sketchbook by itself is $25. Both of these hot press and cold press of the regular Etchr sketchbooks are $33.50 a piece. And then this larger portrait in the B5. Oh, I wrote it down. I know I did. Where did I put you? B5. Ah, there you are. Is $40.50. So, all told, the paint box was worth $195 retail, and the sketch box was a little bit more at $198.50 for the box. Total, it was $395.50 of retail value, and because I paid $215, I got a $23 break on buying both of them. I got $178.50 of free merchandise. So I got quite a discount, almost a 50% discount, honestly, on all the stuff that I bought, which for all of this 100% cotton, that is a deal. That is a steal. These I don't think are really particularly overpriced. They're a little more expensive than, say, your Be Creative or your Kilimanjaro and things of like that nature. Yeah, it's going to be a little more pricey, but they're really, really nice sketchbooks. But when you compare it to something like Arches, it's still cheaper. So really getting a 50% break on these is a good deal. Not going to snub my nose at that. I don't know about the quality of their brushes. I'm not quite sure. I'll know more when I try them. and I'll have to figure out what difference there would be between the gouache and the watercolor, because I'm not quite sure how different they're going to be that way either. So we'll have to see what the quality of the brushes are before I can really say how much of a deal. But that's a pretty good set of brushes. And if they're, oh, okay, so this one's a little annoying. I don't know how well you can see that. Will it focus? Will it focus? I don't know. But there are some hairs caught under here when this was put in, so I'm gonna have to try to fix that. But not a huge deal. I honestly don't use the tiny ones as much as you would think. For really small things, I honestly just use a bigger round brush with like a really good point on it. So if there's a round brush with a good point, this is primarily what I use for small things anyway, because it holds a lot more paint. And these kind of run out of paint almost instantaneously, which is kind of annoying. They're really good for delicate work. I do tiny paintings anyway, and I still barely use the small ones. But they seem a little pricey, although it's nice that these are branded. That's kind of cool. But it does seem like they are pretty pricey. $50 for a bunch of brushes does seem a little high, but you know, it's kind of a premium brand, so I'm not going to argue too much. $12 for a pin is obnoxious. That is ridiculous, but like, I'm not going to complain. It was basically a free pin, and it's adorable, but it's, man, what are you going to do? So all in all, I am very pleased with this. This gives me a lot of paper for the future. I am not going to have to use a notebook for a very long time. Oh my God. I'm not going to have to buy a sketchbook for like a super long time, so I'm pretty happy about that. Overall, I think it was a really good deal. I don't know how well this will indicate for future mystery boxes, if it's going to be as good. I would hope so. I would really hope so, because this is a pretty good deal. I don't know if I would buy it again, because it was very heavy on the notebooks, but I'm not going to complain about it being heavy on the notebooks though, because Etchr is known for their sketchbooks. Why do I keep saying notebooks? What is wrong with me? They're known for their sketchbooks. This is kind of their bread and butter. This is what everybody talks about. This is what most of the videos are about. The other stuff is just kind of peripheral, and I don't blame them for having things that they can also sell other than just paper. Because, you know, hey, the upsell, why not? Totally go for it. You know, it's all fair game. But I am kind of disappointed with how much plastic is used. Like, okay, this is already in a box, and there's plastic. And now this is also covered in plastic. Like, guys, calm down on the plastic, okay? Just, you know, back off a scotch on the plastic. Let me get this open. But they are very well known for their sketchbooks. This is kind of their big bread and butter. This is what most people go to Etchr for in the first place. So I think a normal Etchr person coming to these boxes would be upset if they didn't get this much paper. And I can kind of understand that, because that's primarily what you go there for. I'm happy that I didn't get any accessories for their carry cases. That would have made me very upset. I would have been very disappointed in that. So this is their paper. It is really good paper. Oh, that first sheet's kind of a dud, but it's pretty good as far as the openness of it. You can actually use like the entire sheet, which is really nice. So they're well known for that. See, like, look at this nice lay flat. Oh, that is, oh, chef's kiss right there. Chef's kiss. One of my biggest pet peeves are sketchbooks that do not open like this. Actually, I hate notebooks that don't open like this. Like, lay flat should be standard. I cannot stand it when they're all bunchy like that. Like, you can't use half of it. Who can write around that curve? So I love the lay flatness of it. This is really very smooth, but not super hot smooth. Like, this actually has a little tooth to it for hot press. I am not gonna lie. That might actually work. I will definitely have to try this, because that feels pretty nice. But I love how flat that is. I now appreciate the ribbon. I used to take the ribbons out of all of my notebooks and sketchbooks because I hated them. And now I love ribbons, and I put them back in. So happy about the ribbons. So these are well known. You can paint on the outside of this, which is really cool, and kind of make it your own. So they're well known for this. So having a lot of sketchbooks, having 4 of them, that's a pretty good deal. So I am not going to complain. I am very pleased with how much of a value these mystery boxes were. I am not pleased with how much my chair squeaks when I move. Yeah, don't know if that's going to make it to the film, but see. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. So many things for me to fix. And definitely more lighting, but that'll have to wait until we move. But thanks for being here if you were, and I hope to see you again sometime with a couple more reviews, and eventually I will actually put art on here when I can sit down for 5 minutes and do some art, because it's just that season of my life right now. So have a good day, and I'll see you next time. On a side note, the boxes they put this stuff in, oh, I love the boxes. Like, I am a box geek. I love good boxes. So the quality of the mystery boxes themselves, like the cardboard and stuff, oh, those are so good. I'm going to keep those. Those are great. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I like boxes.